Well, right now, U.S. Senator Sherrod Brown and NASA Administrator Bill Nelson are at the NASA Glenn Research Center here in Cleveland. They've been discussing Ohio's role in helping NASA's mission to eventually explore Mars and, of course, returning astronauts to the moon. NASA Glenn continues to play a critical role in the future of space exploration. Not only the facilities here, but more specifically the people here in Cleveland and the people from Cleveland. You may remember we had a chance to sit down with Clevelander Jim Free earlier last year and before the launch of Artemis 1 took place. Well, not only is he the former center director at NASA Glenn, he's currently a top NASA executive who oversees the development of all things human space exploration. Well, he agreed to sit down with me again after launch. And here's the thing about Jim. He's always looking ahead.
Well, Jim Free, last time we sat here at NASA Glenn, it was January 28th. It's been that long.
Wow.
There's been a few things that have happened in that amount of time.
One or two, yes.
And I said, what are you most excited about? Like, what's the moment that you are, and you cut me off, and you said, splashdown.
Sorry about that.
So when you saw the splashdown, what was your reaction?
I think I leaned over and put my hands on my knees and just, was thankful that we made it through that mission. I'm thinking that if I'm a crew member, how am I feeling right now about now they would get on it anyway because that's what they do, but I gotta believe we can stand in front of them and feel a lot better about stuff knowing how well that vehicle performed. So to me, we are on our path to the moon. It's not paper anymore. And we're only 2 years from Artemis 2, and that's incredible.
Well, you remember Artemis 1 took a human-rated space capsule on a 1.3+ million-mile journey, farthest beyond the moon any capsule like that has gone. It went exceptionally well.
Right.
That capsule was propelled by a little module called the European Space Module, or Service Module, and that is basically Glenn's baby. They initially started the design and development of that. That was then transferred to the European Space Agency, but Glenn oversaw the integration of that European Service Module and the Orion space capsule. So they absolutely played a critical role, and they are playing a very critical role in the missions going forward, and some pretty incredible plans that include a base that is going to be orbiting the moon that would become a launching point to get us to Mars. So
that's crazy.
It seems like it's like high science and crazy sci-fi stuff, but we just did step number 1.
Yeah.
And so step number 2 is coming up in 2 years.
I love his line there. It's not just a theory. It's not just on paper anymore. This is happening. And he says 2 years away, we'll blink and this thing will be underway.
Exactly.
That's how fast it'll go.
And we are waiting with bated breath. We should know very, very soon, in the next few weeks, who the crew members will be that'll be the first ones to go up in this next generation
What an
space
honor that will be.
vehicle.
And I'm guessing that having this portable launching pad is critical because it won't take nearly as much energy to send a capsule from the moon's orbit to Mars because it's already in zero gravity.
Yeah.
It's already on its way.
It's definitely a few steps down the road, but they're hoping to be able to leverage some of the resources available at the moon to get us there. So
unbelievable.
Yeah, it totally
Cool.
is.